I think I agree with you on that. I like the fact that you said obligated, right? You know, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, it's nice again. I should probably go for a walk or do something, right? Instead of just kind of hang out in the house and relax and whatnot. Because sometimes, I mean, if there's rain, and I could agree with you on that, it's like movie day, right? If I look outside and there's like rain on a Saturday, I look at my dog and I'm like, movies all day. But now, you know, you feel like you almost have to go do something.
Yeah, it's nice to feel content in the rain for a day. Just like having no obligations, feel like you do nothing's pretty nice.
Yeah, you know, and so I mean, we're here, like I said, and obviously every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we are live inside of Cafe Kubal studios, and we're at Cafe Kubal every single month, hanging out with you where sports meets life. And appreciate Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, which is where we are, as well as 401 South Salina Street. Those are all in Syracuse, 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. And then down the road from Chick-fil-A Cicero, you'll find them on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse for their drive-thru. So always a great place to go to. I get chai. Have you ever had chai?
I have.
You have? Okay. Do you have a favorite flavor?
Not really.
So put in it? No?
Not really.
Alright, well there's local spices and syrups here, so you gotta try. They have lavender, vanilla, caramel, cinnamon swirl, I think, so there's some really good stuff here.
I'll have to try some after.
Are you a coffee guy or tea guy?
I'm more of a latte guy. My choice.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. Now, when did you start drinking these?
I don't really. It's whenever my girlfriend wants to go to Starbucks,
Okay.
I have to give one with her.
Yeah, well, we got to bring her to Cafe Kubal now. We got to convert her.
Absolutely.
So your girlfriend is a big one for that. So let me ask you this. I want to get things started off this way because we're going to go to a little bit everywhere. But off the air, we talked about you've been in a relationship for 3 years, a little over 3 years. So what's the biggest thing you've learned about compromising?
You can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Yeah. I can appreciate that. So what do you guys like to do together? You talk about, you know, when there's a nice day, you want to get out and do something. What do you like to do?
So I live in Fayetteville. She lives in Casanova. We like meeting in the middle of Green Lakes a lot.
Okay.
We love walking around Green Lakes, bringing your dog. It's very fun, calming.
Yeah, you know, there's something about taking a walk, and that's what, it's funny, when I was growing up as a kid, they would always say, take a walk. Yeah, right, take a walk. And now that's what I do to find peace. And it really, like, kind of brings you back to center. Like, I was driving last week, and I drove by a place, and I was like, wow, that place is really beautiful. And I had some time until, like, the next thing I had going on for the day. And I turned around, pulled up, got outside, and took a walk. And just kind of talked to God for a minute, and, well, not for a minute, for a bit. And I just kind of just had that open conversation while I was walking. And one of the best things I've done for myself was not planned. Are you a planner? Are you spontaneous? You both?
I'm probably a bit of both, honestly. I plan a lot, but then those plans can tend to change very quickly.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing is, are you good when things change? Like when something doesn't go the way you want it to go, can you ad-lib?
I like to think so, but
Okay.
that's probably an outsider's perspective is a better.
Yeah,
person.
should ask Betty and Jimmer.
Yes, exactly. Maybe the people ask.
So you got a family of 3 kids.
Yes.
You have your sister who's coming back home, your older sister, you have your younger brother. What's the dynamic like? And when you guys are all together, what's it like?
It's pretty hectic, to say the least.
Okay.
Me, Sam, and Hunter tend to be able to get on each other's nerves very easily, and my mom and dad will like to deal with that a ton. So it can create a bit of chaos in the household or wherever we are.
How would you describe Sam?
She's probably the social butterfly of the family.
Okay.
She's a really good people person. She was, like, when we moved up here, she stayed down south for school, for college, so she's good with doing her own thing. So she does her own thing all the time. It's awesome.
Okay, so she's the social butterfly, but also the one that can kind of fly on her own.
Yes.
And then how would you describe Hunter?
He's the golden child. He's got.
Can he do anything wrong?
He can,
Okay.
but my parents will never see that.
Okay. I saw that Hunter had a very interesting trip to the Bills camp and tried to steal Josh Allen's girlfriend.
Yes, it was awesome.
And it's-
He was walking out of the bathroom. My mom was with him, and
Because you
saw-
all went down, right? Or did you
I
go down?
wasn't.
You didn't go.
able to tell
Okay.
him, But so he walks out of the bathroom and sees Brittany and goes, "Oh my gosh, Mom, that's Brittany. I have to ask to take a picture with her."
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Yes, I'm certain." And so they took the picture. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, and the caption that he had on Instagram was "Mr. Steal Your Girl."
Yeah, that was a bit much in my opinion, but it was still hilarious.
So, and your dad said he can pretty much spot anybody. Like he could spot
Yes.
the backup long snapper.
Yes, one of the Bills' best special teamers, Tyler Medikevich, was walking out of the locker room, and my brother was the only one that knew who he was. So Tyler was very gracious and had a great talk.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing. So, who's a bigger? Because the whole family is Bills, right?
We're mad, we believe Buffalo blood.
Even Sam down in North
Oh, yeah.
Carolina? Okay. So everybody's Buffalo. So who's the biggest, if you had to honestly tell me who the biggest Buffalo fan is of the family? Mom, dad, and all
My
your
dad.
siblings.
For sure, my dad.
Okay. Why you say your dad?
Because he's seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows of the Bills and been there through it all. Definitely knows the most about our history. He's just the most knowledgeable and definitely the most passionate, even though he doesn't show it as much as my brother sometimes.
Who's the loudest watching game? Who's
Hunter.
the one that screams the most? Hunter?
Hunter.
Okay.
He's pacing around the room. Every time one bad play happens, he thinks the season's over.
How are you when you watch the game?
I'm pretty, since I've played football my whole life, I'm pretty laid back and understanding how it's one play can change it all, but also one play is only one play.
Right.
So you can have short-term memory loss, but also remember to learn from the plays.
So you can let it go.
I can let it go,
But Hunter doesn't.
he doesn't. But at the end of games we've lost, I'm pretty upset too.
And last year we could talk about that, and they don't want to. I know nobody does. But Kansas City, that game was going back and forth, back and forth. They changed the overtime rules going into this
Yeah.
postseason, knowing that everybody's going to get a shot, even if you score a touchdown. Because in that game, I think it would be realistic to say that that game probably would have gone on for another 2 hours.
It would.
That, at least a few more possessions, because I don't think Josh Allen was not going to score.
No, there was no way he wasn't. He was playing a perfect postseason.
So, how do you look back on that, knowing that, your team loses the game essentially like a lot of teams feel, yeah, the other team has to score, but you lose a game on a coin flip because you don't even get a shot.
Yeah, even though both offenses are phenomenal, I still think if you get a stop, your chance is to stop them. You don't have to score to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there was really no defense in that game
There was not.
at all.
No.
So, what do you think about this season, knowing that Kansas City doesn't have Tyreek Hill, who was a large part of the reason why they even got into overtime?
Yeah, when he takes a 3-yard slant route, 80 yards to the end zone, that's kind of a lightning in a bottle type of player and play.
Are you surprised that they let him go?
Yeah. I think he's the best weapon in the league. Maybe not the best receiver, but
The best weapon.
yeah.
Yeah, I could understand that and that, thought about it. He's Sky Moore, who they brought in, is a guy that I know from Western Michigan. Very good friends with his coach, Tim Lester. Shout out to Tim, who used to be at SU. So Tim's the reason why Dungy came to Syracuse. And so Sky, I'm excited about, and I think they're going to try and work him into that role.
Yes.
But no one's perfectly somebody else, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he's not going to be Tyreek Hill.
No, you can't be Tyreek Hill.
How do you think Tyreek's going to do with Tua?
I think people are really trying to bring Tua down. He's probably not on the upper half of quarterbacks in the league, but he's right darn near there.
Yeah.
So you don't need him to throw 80-yard passes to him. He took a 3-yard slant to the end zone.
Yeah.
You don't need much.
That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, if he can throw a 2-yard pass,
Exactly.
that's what you need.
Hand him the ball if you have to.
Yeah, that's what I said. All you gotta do is hand him off the ball. Well, I made a promise here that we're going to be giving this away. So, for those of you that have been following our social media on Facebook at WakeUpCall.DT, it's on your screen, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT, we have taken this local basket from Witty Wicks, another local company like Cafe Kubal. And inside of here we have chocolate pizza, Mon Pa's kettle corn and popcorn factory. So, big fan of Mon Pa's. They like you. You saw that we were doing the show, so they showed you some love.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So a lot of good stuff from Mon Pa's. And we have an orange towel here. We got a couple towels in here for the kitchen. We have a Syracuse postcard. Someone in Syracuse loves me. And then we have the spring, summer, autumn, and winter infused scents that are candles that are made by Witty Wicks. Have you had any of this stuff in here? Have you had chocolate pizza yet?
I haven't, but I've had the kettle corn. It's delicious.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite flavor, or did you just try the original kettle corn?
The original.
The original.
It's delicious.
So we're going to be giving away this basket, but there's a special thing that we've done here in order to give this away. So for those of you on screen, I'm going to bring up the messages that you sent in, and Jack is going to help me pick the winner. So this is what we had to do, and what it had. So I put out the post of me in front of Witty Wicks with this gift basket. And what I said was, all you had to do was reply to the video or the picture by telling me your favorite thing about Syracuse and Central New York. So Amy said Syracuse University Athletics is her favorite thing, go Orange. So that was one of the answers that we got in here. And then that was to the picture here. And then I'm going to go back to the video. The video has tons, so I'm going to try and get to everybody's here. Hilda said she'll still watch Syracuse even though, and I know the story behind that. And then Aaron said the fall season is so beautiful. BJ said the changing of the seasons is the best of Syracuse. And so those are some of the ones we got in. And then we had a bunch of other answers that came in here. This is the Witty Wicks giveaway once again. So we're going to be choosing our winner. And I want to make sure we get to everybody's. And I know there's a bunch more to get through here on the video. So we're going to go to some of those here now. So I read you some of these, and then if we go to the rest of them, you also said, Bill said, lots of amazing people like me, thank you Bill, to be around, and of course his wonderful wife. Mike gave a bunch of different answers. He said the many different cultures in Central New York and different things to do for fun. Greg said SU Orange Athletics. Michael also said all the local companies who provide us with quality local products like Hyde's and Hoffman's. Anthony said love the community. And this is the one that I think to me is the front runner here, but you could tell me. So Ashley wrote, the feeling of belonging and having a community who would fight and support through it all. That feeling of someone new you might have just met, that you could call on them in your time of need, and the fact that my support network is so large and so strong.
That's dang good.
Yeah, so that's Ashley's answer. Jackie said the restaurants that we have. Chuck said the local businesses like Witty Wicks, Twin Trees, Hoffman's, etc. that add character and variety to the area. Joanna wrote, I love that we have all 4 seasons, and even though in the cold fall nights and even through winter, we still show up to support the Orange. I love the unique local food options and all the festivals we have downtown in the summer, but most of all the New York State Fair, which I go to almost every day, even if it's just to grab dinner. Dottie said, snow not really. Amy said, I love all the family-owned business, another Amy here, AIMEE. I love all the family-owned businesses and how they always support our youths and community. And then Michael R. said, working for one of the oldest businesses in the Cuse, Rocky News and Cigars, North Salina Street. So those are some of the ones we got. And then on Instagram, we got a few here that I want to read off. Let's see what we got on Instagram, because I know we had a few come in there as well. So here it is. So on Instagram, no, that's not cool. We heard from you, and you said, J2 the end said, my favorite thing about living in Central New York is being close to family and friends. Moved here in 2019. Britt White said, my favorite thing about Syracuse is all the great local breweries. I also love a nice walk at Onondaga Lake Park. So What do you think?
Definitely that front runner. That's
Okay.
probably my number one. And then my dad always says the best part about Syracuse is the fall. He loves
The fall.
the changing colors. So I don't remember the person.
Yeah, that was Joanna who talked about all 4 seasons.
Yes, that I love that. 'Cause my dad is passionate about how much he loves the fall.
Yeah, so it's between Ashley and Joanna this morning, folks. So for those of you that are watching, we are giving away our gift basket, courtesy of Woody Wicks, $70 value, filled with local goodies and a bunch of Syracuse things here on the show this morning, as we're here on the Cafe Kubal couch on 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York, with Jack Szatkowski and myself, Dan Tortora. So we're going to read Ashley's again and Joanna's again. All right? The feeling of belonging and having a community who would fight and support through it all. The feeling of someone new you might have just met, that you can call on them in your time of need. And the fact that my support network is so large and so strong. That's Ashley. Joanna is, I love that we have all 4 seasons, and even in the cold fall nights, and even through winter, we still show up to support the Orange. I love the unique local food options and all the festivals we have downtown in the summer, but most of all the New York State Fair, which I go to almost every day, even if it's just to grab dinner.
And with that first one,
The first one.
it's so good.
Yeah, that was my gut. So Ashley Holdridge once again said, the feeling of belonging and having a community who would fight and support through it all. That feeling of someone new you might have just met, that you can call on them in your time of need. The fact that my support network is so large, so strong. So basically saying her favorite part of Syracuse is the people.
Exactly.
Syracuse in central New York, you know, the feeling of belonging and having a community that would be there for you. And even if you met someone today that you think that someone you could meet in Syracuse in central New York is that good of a person that they would show up immediately. So I thank everyone for their answers. I thank everyone that got involved with the giveaway. But as my gut told me, and they say you should never go against your gut, as soon as I read Ashley's, I thought, I don't know if anybody can beat that. And a bunch of other ones came in. But Ashley Holdridge, you are our winner. And so we will be giving that to you. And you can pick that up at Woody Wicks. So we'll get you the information. But shout out to you. Ashley Holdridge is the winner of it.
Congrats, Ashley.
I think it's fair.
Oh yeah.
I think she deserved it.
She definitely did.
But Joanna, close second.
Very close second.
Very close second. And thanks to everybody who joined in today. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You'll hear from our great partners in Central and Upstate New York, and then Jack and I will be back to talk about a lot of different things, from faith, facing adversity, and chasing your dreams, and what he's about to embark on at Notre Dame. That's coming up in just a few minutes here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge, and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item, available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Syracuse, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus.
Welcome back here inside of Cafe Kubal, hanging out with you on their location at Creekwalk Commons, 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York, and of course our proud studio partner. We're here on the couch with Szatkowski of CBA Syracuse, who's heading off to Notre Dame in just a couple days, and myself, Dan Tortora. Happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You are watching and listening on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, and MixLR.com, all /WakeUpCallDT. Also find us on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and on Facebook in a secondary location on Facebook.com /LiveNowDT. So with that being said, Jack, there's a lot of different things that we can talk about and go to. We've known each other for a minute.
Yes.
So you also look like a different human being when I met you.
Yes, I've changed a bit.
Yeah, I told your dad and mom, I was like, he keeps getting bigger, like in a good way though. Like you're building muscle, you're building up your body. But I remember when I saw you in the drive-thru a couple of years ago. It was a couple of years ago. And you're like, Dan! And I was like, I didn't recognize you. And I was like, I really had to take a step back. And I texted your dad, I was like, who's in the drive-thru right now? He's like, that was Jack. I was like, no, it wasn't. So what can you say about the evolution and what you've done to change your body?
Well, my freshman year in high school, I played cornerback and wide receiver. I had no plans of ever playing middle linebacker at all, so I was pretty thin. And then as soon as I got to CBA, I started playing strong safety and slot, so I put on some muscle. And then my junior and senior year, I got thrown into the linebacker position. I was like, all right, I'm too small for this. And put on 60 pounds in 2 years. So it was just me adapting to whatever I had to do on the field and putting myself in the best position to be successful there.
How did you go through, like, what was the regimen and who helped you kind of through this? Because you don't want to just gain weight, you want to gain meaningful weight. So what was the process like, and did you have kind of a plan in place or something that you followed or somebody that you followed?
Shout out to Kyle Francis and Apex Training. Used to be North Syracuse, then on Thompson Road. He made football seem easy with how painful his workouts were and what he put me through.
Yeah.
He is such an exceptional trainer. This past year I've been training with Vinny Scolo out in Baldwinsville. Shout out Vinny. Great man. Both of them great people. And put me in positions to be as successful as I can be. I thank them dearly for it.
When you have those trainers that go the extra mile for you, what was it about what they did that you really felt like? Did you feel, because it's hard to feel like immediately like, oh yeah, this is working. Like, how did you know that these two trainers were really getting you there?
I just gauged how I felt at the end of the season before, and then how I felt starting training camp or just practices next year.
Yeah.
And the biggest jump for me was sophomore and junior year, which was my first year with Kyle. I put on about 40 pounds in good weight, and even if you just see the pictures from the year before to the year after, it was pretty unreal. And I just felt so much better, and stats explained it. You could just tell the difference.
I'll never forget the first play that I remember from you, and that was out at West Jenny, CBA playing West Jenny, and it was a rough year, and I watched you guys you kept fighting, and no matter what, you just kept going after it. And I want to say, you'll probably correct me on this, but I want to say you intercepted the ball on like the 8-yard line, and you just ran it all the way back. And I remember looking with your dad going, he's not giving up. Like, there's like 20 seconds left in this game, and this man is continuing to push like you believe that you could turn it around.
Yeah, it was about halfway through the fourth quarter, and we were down 30 to zip, I think, and I was pretty fed up. I was pretty upset about the game, and they got all the way down, and like they were up 30. They could have easily just kicked a field goal or not gone for it, and it was 4th and 2. They decided to go for it, and the quarterback decided to throw an out route when I was in strong safety. I just remember watching the play from the film because they always went for it on 3rd and short, 4th and short, and did that same exact play. It was a little slant over, speed out behind, and I read it and took it. Just took it to the house and felt pretty good, but didn't make much of a difference in the end. But it was so exciting.
And then you fast forward, and CBA wins the state title.
Unreal. So proud of them. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that? You know, I mean, this is a couple years in between a pandemic amidst all of this, and you see a team that was down 30-0 on that game where you got the interception to a team that won a state title after losing 3 games in a row, like falling into the playoffs, then winning 3 to win sectionals, and then winning another 3. So a team that starts out winning, loses 3, and then wins 6 in a row to win a state title.
It's nothing that they weren't used to. They trusted the process. I mean, my junior and senior year, my senior year, I was one of 3 seniors on the team.
Yeah.
My junior year, I was one of the 8 juniors and seniors on the team. There wasn't much, and those kids just had to tough it out through those years.
Yeah.
And they finally got their opportunity as they got older, and they showed what they could do. And when adversity hit, they didn't run away. They went right back into it.
What can you say about the coaching staff at CBA that you're going to take with you?
They're the only team or coach in Central New York that are thinking about your future while thinking about your present. They want you to win now. They want you to win in life later. They know high school football is not the end.
Yeah.
They use it as a means to either get you to a good school to play football or just to be the best person you can be.
So, Casey Brown,
Yes.
good friend of mine, known him for a long time. What can you say about Casey?
One of the best human beings I've ever met. He cares so much about each and every one of his players, but he doesn't sacrifice caring about his players to. I'm trying to think about how to explain it. He doesn't let you cut corners just because he loves you. If anything, he makes you not cut corners just because he loves you. He expects the very best effort out of each and every one of his players on every play because he knows that that's what they can give and what they should give.
So you talk about that, and you said it because he loves you.
Yes.
And he talks to me about that all the time, But you feel that as a player, you feel that it's a word that gets thrown around all the time, but I can feel that from you, and I feel that from Casey, that he really does love his players.
Yes.
How does he show you guys that?
When I was at CBA, there wasn't a single week that went by in and out of season where we didn't have a conversation that was at least lasted 5 minutes. Even when I've left, I get at least a monthly text from him, either showing support or just asking how I'm doing. It's awesome.
So, shout out to Casey, much love to Casey and CBA. So, you moved when your dad came up to start Chick-fil-A Cicero. You moved from North Carolina, one of my favorite states in the world and on this country. And I'd say in the world, I'd put North Carolina up against anybody. I don't care where you are. But I love, and so I've done the drive before from here to there, and it's like a 10.5-hour drive to Greensboro. So I'm driving down, and number one, drive, and with all due love and respect, because you know there's a lot of people I love in PA. Pennsylvania and Virginia, they look exactly the same when you drive through them. And it's so long.
Yeah.
It's like this same road for a very long time. And you're in Maryland for a millisecond, West Virginia. And so I get down. What I noticed when I got into North Carolina is that everything slows down.
Yes.
And I said in Syracuse, I'm trying to find 3 good drivers. In North Carolina, I was trying to find 3 bad ones. You know, there's a few people where you're like, really? Are you from the north? And then, but everybody else is okay. But there's just something about you get there, and no one's in
a hurry.
Even in traffic, you don't feel like you're not anxious.
Yeah.
So, what part of North Carolina did you guys live in again?
We were in Raleigh.
Okay, that's what I thought. You're in Raleigh. So I've been to Raleigh, and years ago I dated a girl from Princeton. So there's 790 people in a billy goat in Princeton. There's nobody else there. Like every Italian mob hit, every body is buried in Princeton. Jimmy Hoffa's bodies, everybody's there. So and there's like nothing. But in Raleigh, it was like an hour away. So I think I flew into Raleigh, Durham. And so I didn't have much of an experience there, but I liked it. When I was there though, and you could tell me if this happened all the time or if this was just something for this pre-pandemic, but all the restaurants and like stores closed so early.
I think.
Was I just in the wrong part of Raleigh?
I think maybe, honestly. I didn't think anything closed before. I mean, 8 to 10 o'clock was probably the closing time.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, like the Target was closing, and it was like,
oh yeah, those do close pretty early, depending on where you are. Like only the big shopping centers keep open. It felt like.
Yeah,
if you're a smaller town.
I was like, how does Raleigh close at like 8, or like how does Target close in Raleigh at like 8 p.m.? That was weird. But describe Raleigh. How would you describe it?
It was it still is. It's the fastest growing city in America, and you could, like being able to experience that as a kid. Like it grew up with me. It was awesome to see it all happen. It seemed like every 2 years there was a new high school being opened up to accommodate for all the kids that were either growing up or moving to there. It was just really cool.
How hard was it to leave?
It was really tough. I left after my freshman year of high school, so had I left after my 8th grade year, I think it would have been a lot easier, but I kind of felt rooted in my high school there, so it was kind of a bit tough to move on from there.
So, what was Sam at the time?
She graduated high school as we moved on.
She was graduating high school as you were
Yes.
moving. And she stayed down in North Carolina.
Yeah, she went to UNC Wilmington.
So, was that decision already made before the family decided to move?
Not really, no. I found out we were moving in October, probably was roughly the date that somewhere in there, and she was still applying to schools then, and she knew she wanted to stay down south. She wasn't planning to go up north, so it was decided, but it also wasn't decided officially.
Because it was like she stayed,
Yes.
held down the fort, and y'all came up here. Hunter was how old?
He was entering his 3rd grade year.
Okay.
Entering his first year up here was his 4th grade year.
So that move, when Jimmer said, "Hey, we're starting Chick-fil-A Cicero, and we got to all move." How did how did Mom and Dad, Jimmer and Betty, how'd they sit you down?
Honestly, we weren't all together. Like it was like one kid at a time would find out.
Okay.
But like we always had the idea. Like when Dad went away for Chick-fil-A interviews, we knew there was some idea that we wouldn't be in Raleigh anymore. So it was always a thought in our heads. But when it was officially official, we were all together. And I wouldn't even say there was a moment there like, "Hey, sorry guys, we're moving."
Yeah.
It was more just like we knew it. And honestly, I was probably the last to like accept it. I really wanted to stay down there. Hunter was young, he didn't mind. Sam was graduating high school, wouldn't have made too much of a difference for her until she went home.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I mean, it definitely was a change for you guys.
Yes.
To make that move. How would you describe North Carolina versus New York?
I'm always going to take North Carolina's weather. 10 times out of 10.
It's hot down there though.
It does get very hot, but I like it. I'm still not used to the cold here. I'd rather it be way too hot than way too cold.
It's not a bad hot though.
Yes.
Because I was in Charlotte for ACC kickoff in July.
Yes.
So we're talking like July 20th to the 20th to the 22nd or 23rd, whatever it was. And amidst that time period, it was like 90, 94. It didn't, and I was saying that when I called back home, I'm like, it doesn't feel as hot. Like 94 up in Syracuse feels worse because it's humid.
Yes.
But I didn't
There's
feel that in
significantly
Charlotte.
less humidity
Yeah.
unless it rains either earlier that day or the day before, and then it's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, Charlotte wasn't bad at all. Charlotte's growing too.
Charlotte's, yeah, it's up there with Raleigh.
So I mean, you come up here, you make the move, you go to CBA, and you've had a few years here, and you're getting ready to leave again to go somewhere else.
Yes.
What has Central New York, upstate New York, taught you?
I'd say I'm a upstate New Yorker more than a North Carolinian.
Okay.
I think it's taught me everything, really. I mean, again, I was only a sophomore in high school when I came up here, so I wasn't formed at all as a person
Yep.
or anything of that regard. So it's molded me in more ways than I can say, honestly.
So you said you consider yourself more of an upstate New Yorker
Yes.
than a North Carolinian. Some big words.
Oh yeah.
How would you describe being an upstate New Yorker? Grizzled, since we know how to deal with the cold.
Yeah, I think a bit more stoic.
Yeah, I call it Santa's armpit.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Basically.
I think the North Pole gets less snow than we do.
I think it does too. I think it just keeps it more because it doesn't melt.
Yeah, it just doesn't melt as fast, but it's so weird because when you have a day like today, it's like, I tell people, I'm like, snow doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like when I'm going through this weather in Syracuse, I'm like, snow is a mirage, it's not real.
Yep.
They're like, well, I can't even think about it. I'm like, don't think about it because it doesn't exist.
Right now it's not here, so why even think?
Yeah, it's like, and my favorite weather, and I don't know how you are, but my favorite weather is sweatshirt and shorts.
That's my dad's
It's like,
comfortably wearing a sweater.
yeah, like when you got a t-shirt on, a little sweatshirt on, shorts, walk around like that, 68, 75, somewhere in that world, I can live in that high 60s, mid 70s for the rest of my life. Oh yeah. And the thing is, you said your dad loves the fall. I'm a fall baby.
Yeah.
So I'm like love pumpkins, love everything pumpkin related. And I love the weather, I love football, I love the way it smells. The only thing I don't like, my allergies are insane in the fall.
I'm pretty blessed. I don't really have much allergies.
Great for you.
Really nice.
Mine have gotten progressively worse.
Yeah, I don't have trouble with that. I hope mine don't get progressively worse.
No, I was, as a kid, I was like okay. And as an adult, I am not. Like the last 3 years have been really awful. And I don't know why. And I have New York allergies.
Yeah.
Like down in Florida, I don't really have much of anything. I don't feel them in North Carolina. But when I'm here, I'm like always wanting to like blow my nose. And yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had them worse in North Carolina. I don't know if you've ever been there in the fall, but cars get coated in pollen. It's all yellow.
Yeah,
It's
well,
hazy.
That's the thing here. Is you get the pollen. It's weird because down in Florida, I'm around pollen. I'm at Disney.
Yeah.
I'm around all these like plants and everything, and I don't feel it.
Weird. Yeah. I mean,
Bees don't bother me. And the thing is, there's bees in Florida, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, you don't see them ever. Now that I said that, I'll see a ton. But
Yeah.
God, please no. But you don't usually see them. But up in Syracuse, like they want to get in my house. They
Okay.
want to live with me. They want to hang out for a while. They're in my grill right now.
I hate bees. You can ask my parents. I'm deathly afraid of bees.
You're not allergic, obviously.
I'm not allergic. I'm just afraid for no reason, honestly.
I'm with you though. I don't like them.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I did the interview with Peter Schultz
Yes.
from Chick-fil-A Cicero, and there was bees that were bothering us. A bee went in his straw down into his drink,
Oh yeah.
and then while we were talking, there was a bee flying at me and just like doing this. And I feel like they're smart enough, and I feel like they're like, yo, this guy's doing a show.
Yeah.
It's like, hey Bob, what? Why don't you go over there and why don't you see what he'll do? I think they talk, and then he comes over and he's like, how you gonna do the show now, huh? And he's like, because they just like, they're like backing you up. So it's crazy. So we got a little pup here.
Oh, hey, buddy. When you come in? Oh, dog break, sorry.
Yeah. Gotta have a dog break.
See
It's
ya.
always good to have a dog break. My dog is, you've seen Lily before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Little one. She would be laying up here looking out the window smiling right now.
Same with our dog. He's Rudy's 16 pounds. So
Yeah. What type of dog is Rudy?
it's a really fancy breed. It's like a French poodle. It's a Coton de Tuileries. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, those are hyperallergenic too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've heard of them before actually.
Yeah.
And he's 16 pounds?
16 pounds.
Named Rudy because of Notre Dame or no?
Yes, but no. Like not just because we loved the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't directly like, oh Jack, you have to go to Notre Dame. It's
Yeah.
just not. It's more coincidence now than anything.
And we're going to talk about that here. We're on the couch at Cafe Kubal, 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Every Monday through Friday, we come to you from the Cafe Kubal studios, and every single month we go to Cafe Kubal, any one of their locations, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, where we are today, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse. You'll also find them in Manlius on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, in their double-decker cafe, and their drive-through right by the airport on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road and Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse. So you have an excuse when you pick somebody up and they're coming to Syracuse to experience life here, to bring them over to Cafe Kubal right by the airport at Sweetheart Corners. So a lot of great stuff, a lot of things to get into. We're here with Jack Szatkowski and myself, of course, Dan Tortora. And Jack is leaving in just a few days to go to Notre Dame. So bring to the people that don't know, to the people that are not me, that that know the story and kind of the trail here. I would love for you to let everybody know how this came about, like what you've done collegiately up to this
Yeah.
point to be a part of this, because there's a special program and a way to get into Notre Dame and have this opportunity. So I'd love to hear your story.
So I was getting recruited to lower FCS schools, and I've always wanted to play football at Notre Dame. So I figured one day, honestly, didn't expect anything in return. I emailed their director of player personnel. Was like, hey, is there any chance if I get in, I could try out to walk on? And just through our conversations, eventually, if I got in on my own merit, I would have a spot on the team and walk on immediately. But I got in through the school through an interesting program called the Holy Cross Notre Dame Gateway Program, which meant that my freshman year I would split half my classes both at Holy Cross College across the street and at Notre Dame, and which made me ineligible by the NCAA to play my freshman year due to just some dual enrollment issues. And so when I got the admission program, I emailed the coach and I was like, hey, what should I do about this? And he's like, all right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna wait this year if you decide to do this, and then when you transfer over full your sophomore year, we're gonna give you a tryout. And so I've been doing that, I've been training for that, and I'm waiting for my opportunity. And when I go this Wednesday rather, this weekend I'll have my opportunity to try out and hopefully earn my stripes and find my way to the team.
You know, and through this Gateway program, how did you find out about this? Because I think that's an interesting story in and of itself.
I mean, I didn't really know anything about it until it turns out Allison Croucher, also former CBA grad, who we were close with, their family, did the same exact program I did. So she explained it all to me, and she connected me with another Gateway student in her class that also walked on the team his sophomore year. And it really just made me want to do it more. And I always wanted to go to Notre Dame. It was always my dream to go there. So I'd rather play 3 years at Notre Dame than 4 years at anyone else. So
Why have you always been in love with Notre Dame?
I don't know. Just as a kid, my dad was a fan, drew me towards it, and I've just always had a passion for both football and the school. there aren't many elite academic and athletic programs that Notre Dame has.
And you said your dad helped to draw you to it.
Yes.
So Dad has always been a fan?
Yeah, ever since his childhood, he was always a fan of Notre Dame, for sure. Yeah.
So when did you become a fan of Notre Dame?
Well, the day I was born, Notre Dame took down, upset number 1 Florida State, and started becoming number 1. They unfortunately didn't make the national championship, but I think it was destined since I was born.
Then you should do it because it was part of your history. In that case, then I should have been a Villanova fan because of what Villanova was doing when I was coming up here and coming into this world. But so I mean, Notre Dame for you. God bless you.
Thank you.
So Notre Dame for you as you embark on this gateway program and whatnot. What are your thoughts about this road to get there? Because I mean, I would have never known about it if not for you.
Yeah.
So, and like you were saying, like there's somebody else that had gone through it, and you know, you build a friendship with them, and they kind of tell you about like how it comes about. But it's not an easy thing to do either.
No.
You know, so education-wise and everything you need to do, give us some of that background because you have to qualify for the opportunity to be in the gateway program.
Yeah, they look for a very specific type of person to bring into the game program, and also if you normally apply to Notre Dame and they just place you in it and it's a final decision, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think the specific kind of person they look for is someone that is kind and just leads Notre Dame in a good way.
Yeah.
Where they're so passionate about the school and know that that school can, and their education there can be used as a platform to positively impact others. And I think that's kind of what they look for.
So for you, why do you think you fit the bill?
I think I'm hardworking, and I think they know the people that would do the program are people that are hardworking and willing to put in all that time and effort to fully transfer over and become a Notre Dame student. And I think I just fit that script.
For you, your best qualities are what?
I don't know.
How would you answer that?
I think I'm very passionate about everything I do. I take all that I do very seriously. And I let little things bother me. I don't like to not succeed. So I'd say that's probably my best qualities.
It's not easy to not sweat small stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a book that says don't sweat small stuff, and in parentheses it says, and it's all small stuff.
Yeah.
How do you not sweat it? How'd you learn not to?
My dad instilled that in me. He basically every day of my childhood instilled to me, says the little things matter. He even uses it in his restaurant today. All the little things add up to many big things at the end of the day. So if you let one little thing slip, one big thing could easily slip as well.
And there's so much attention to detail. You
Yes.
know with what your dad does. How has he influenced you?
I think he's made me more caring and more appreciative of every day that we have, either with him or with anyone else. I think I don't know, just I live much more in the day than thinking about the future and knowing I can control what I can control now.
Did your dad teach you that before the diagnosis?
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't come from just that?
No, that's just reinforce it more.
Yeah, you know, and so I would love to play the word association game with your dad and your mom here. So when I say Jimmer, your father, Jimmer Szatkowski, what words come to mind?
Tough.
Okay. What else? Is that the only one?
Tough, loving, hardworking, gritty, those kinds of words.
Tough how? How would you describe his toughness?
Never let, sometimes, I mean, things can get to me, but understanding that whenever failures or shortcomings happen, that's just a one-time thing. You can move on from that.
Yeah. So to short-live those moments.
Yeah.
Betty, mom, what has she taught you?
She's the same things as my dad, if not a bit of a step up.
Okay. She's feisty.
Yes, yes.
I feel like Betty could fight, well, both of them. But speaking on your mom, like I feel like she could fight anything.
No, yes, absolutely. If she's passionate about it, she will do it.
And she has been incredible in this journey that your family's been on
Yes.
with your dad's diagnosis and everything. How have you seen your mom become even stronger or even better of a person?
I think it just made the diagnosis made her love every single one of us somehow even more, which I thought was impossible. But she'll always be there for us, and whenever we need anything, she's doing it before we will ask her for it.
When you guys have fun as a family, what do you do?
We're just the type of family who just sit down and talk. We just like having conversations with each other. Our conversations are pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just like talking.
Who's the most serious of the five of you?
In what way serious?
Like the person that's like most stoic, like not gonna maybe joke around as much.
I'd say either of my parents, depending on the day.
Okay.
One's a bit more goofy one day, and one's a bit more serious the next.
Who is the funniest person in the family?
Inadvertently, probably me. Like I don't mean to be funny.
Okay.
How so? Overall, I don't know. Just my actions can sometimes be silly in what I do without even meaning to be.
Okay.
My actual funniest sibling would be Sam, I think.
So you actual funniest Sam? Is
Yes, yes.
Why? Is she's the one that can like
She's just the most personable. And
tell
can
the
always be-
joke?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So you feel like you are the joke and she tells the joke?
Yes, basically.
Okay. Who, if you were on an island, trapped there for a month, you got to pick one of your family members. Who would you want to spend a month with on a desert?
My
island?
mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
And why?
I think she would be the most useful.
Okay. So she would be resourceful and
Yes,
everything?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who could you not sit in a car with if there was somebody that you said in your family going across the country? Who could you not?
Hunter.
I knew the answer.
Yeah, we would just bicker a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Does his energy level ever come down?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like 30 minutes would be good. 30 minutes would be arguing for the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just because you guys are brothers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
you'll like him more when you're older.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So, in this quest for Notre Dame, what's the family said?
They support me through it all the time. They will always be there to support me through it. Whatever I want, they want.
And you want to go out, and for those that don't know, like through the Gateway program, you go to college, you get yourself ready, you train and do what you can, and then you work through the Gateway program to get into Notre Dame, which gives you an opportunity to walk onto the team as well.
Yes.
Education-wise, on the student side of student athlete, what have you done to earn your keep at Notre Dame?
I ended up with a 3.7 GPA for my first 2 semesters there, which I was very pleased with. It wasn't easy to do that. It was just as much working for school as it was working out to hopefully have this opportunity this next week. There was just a lot of commitment that I had to put into my school.
And you get a 3.7, congratulations.
Thank you.
And describe the school, like once again for those that don't know, like where you went, like who brings about this Gateway program, because it's like right across the street from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, both Notre Dame and Holy Cross kind of collaborated for this, where I lived on Holy Cross campus, so I'll be living on Notre Dame campus this year, but I'm literally splitting my classes, like my credits half and half, basically. Half were at Notre Dame, half were at Holy Cross.
Yeah.
And like it was just a joint effort. Aurelia was our gateway coordinator at Holy Cross, and she was awesome. She was thrown into a tough position because she didn't have the position before this year started.
Yeah.
But yes, she was awesome.
So this gateway, I mean, it's not an easy thing to get into. Was there anybody else with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 94 other students with me.
That are looking to play
Oh, no.
sports? No.
No.
Yeah. That's
Well, one of my friends may want to try it for lacrosse, but we'll see where that goes.
so the gateway program, like you said, 94
Yes.
that are trying to get from Holy Cross into Notre Dame as a
Yes.
student, but as a student athlete too.
Yes.
So, and you the only one for football.
Yes.
What does that feel like, knowing that like it's you?
It's my goals may be different than my other students, but we're also going through the same journey together. So I don't feel different from anyone. I mean, I haven't gotten on the team yet, so the entire year I was just like them.
Would you have gone to Notre Dame without going to Holy Cross, or to you like this is your way to be able to be a student athlete? Like could you have ever seen yourself just applying to Notre Dame?
Oh yeah, that's what I did do. Like I mean, if I got into Notre Dame and I wasn't able to walk on the team, maybe I would have tried out however many times I had to find a roster spot. But I would just want to go to Notre Dame.
Yeah. So you have this way to come through. They're already starting camp. They're doing their thing and
Yes.
whatnot. So they're already within it. So how does it all work that you have this walk-on tryout opportunity, because they're already in the thick of things, and by the time you get there, they're a couple weeks in?
So the only reason I didn't try out before this school year was both because of the dual enrollee kind of dilemma there, and then they can only have so many kids on campus during the summer due to NCAA rules. So I have to wait for welcome weekend for me to be eligible to join the team and be a part of it. And I've been pushing for my opportunity to try out for a very long time. So I kind of made sure I could do it this fall.
So you're coming out with this chance to join the team here. Have you talked to anybody on the team? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. I have a couple of friends that are either walk-ons or some mutual friends that are scholarship players.
Yeah.
I've talked to them a ton, and they're all awesome. If I get this opportunity, I'm super excited to be with them.
What have they said to you about maybe what to expect?
It's a 9-to-5 job. It's a huge commitment, and I'm more than prepared for that. It's what I wanted. It's what I've been pushing for. I knew that's what I was signing up for when I decided to try and do this.
So you go this week in a couple of days.
Yes.
And you said you already have like some friends on there that are walk-ons. What did they tell you about the walk-on experience? Because I think what people don't understand is walk-on doesn't mean, oh, you get to sit and watch while everybody practices. It doesn't mean, oh, well, you get to kind of just coast and wait until your name is called, or you're out there, you know, on Instagram while everybody's running laps and whatnot. I mean, Dabo Sweeney talks about it at Clemson. He's like, you know, like our walk-ons are in here with us. Like everybody. So when you're a walk-on, you're choosing.
Yes.
You're choosing to put yourself through this without a scholarship.
Yeah.
So bring me to that. Why would you choose to put yourself through all of that without the scholarship? Because that means you really, really, really love the game. Because
It's just for the love of the game.
yeah, I mean, they love the game. You know, you get a scholarship, you love the game. But the thing is, when you're a walk-on, I mean, you're not getting that free scholarship. You're not getting that free education, and you still have to do the same amount of work. And I don't think people really think about that as fans.
Yeah.
I think they think walk-ons don't do the work.
Yeah.
And you guys do the work, and sometimes more, because you're trying to get on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, I do it because it's what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do, and I know, like I can bet on myself where I trust that when I develop myself in these next years, I can maybe have some playing time of any sort. I just think I can do what I put my mind to.
Why do you believe in yourself so much?
What other option is there? I'd rather. I mean, yeah. What other choice would I make? Either doing something or doing nothing. I'd rather not do nothing.
So you go out, you're a linebacker. What have they told you about this? Are you going out there as a linebacker? Are you going out there and they're going to say, hey, we're going to see where you fit?
I don't know exactly yet. I mean, I think they'll just evaluate me and put me wherever they. I mean, I've said I'm a linebacker, but I'll do whatever they want me to do, and I'll just see what they want.
They're not looking at many, and we've talked about this, that Notre Dame isn't like, oh yeah, we got 100 walk-ons coming out here.
Yeah.
So do you feel like when you walk out there, do you get this feeling that like, hey, there might be a spotlight on me, there might be an expectation of me? I mean, how do you
I don't think so yet. I think whatever spotlight is put on me is due to my own. I'll be given rewarded whatever I'll reap what I sow, basically.
So you made a connection with a player personnel director there who's helping with the walk-on. Can you speak to him specifically and what your relationship's been like?
His name's David Hallequin. We've never met in person. We've been emailing for a while now, and he's been really supportive of me because he knows my situation and how it is tough to find my way to be able to try out. And I wasn't supposed to be able to try out this fall. They don't usually do that, but I've worked so hard and tried so hard to get this to happen. I think he is willing to give me that chance, and I really appreciate that. And when I'm able to see him, I'm just going to thank him first off, no matter what happens, because he's the only person that really has from the program that I can talk to consistently, supporting me.
And you've said that like most of the time when this opportunity does come about, and Notre Dame is in the spring.
Yes.
So the fact that they're letting you do this in the fall,
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure in and of itself, it's a blessing. Like you said, you got to put the work in and do what you need to do, but it's got to feel good that they said, hey, you know what?
We'll give you the shot.
We'll give you the shot. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a blessing to not have to wait that 4 more months. I think I've put in all the work that I can and to have it actually pay off, even just the opportunity to actually have a shot on the team. I know what I did, what I could do.
When you're training and you're getting ready in this past year, and you finish up playing at CBA, and you have this time in between, you're at Holy Cross and whatnot. What have you done with your body? What's been kind of like the regimen, the eating, the working out? Like, how have you tried to be consistent in your life to be ready for Notre Dame?
Well, with my trainer, I've been working out there 6 days a week for an hour, and then I've been watching I wouldn't say I have a specific diet that I follow. I've just been cutting out the bad things as much as possible. I mean, it's not perfect, but
Yeah.
it's darn good. So
So for you, this journey has been going on for such a long time. Like you said,
Yes.
you were born into this. Can you taste it? Can you feel it?
yeah, I mean, it's
Is it
so
there?
like it's less than a week away. It's unreal to think about. It's right in front of me. I just have to go out there and take it.
Are you ready to literally get to Notre Dame, get to South Bend, drop your bags, and go to practice?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm basically get there Wednesday, and hopefully on Friday or Saturday, I'm going to meet with this guy, work out, and hopefully he says, you got a spot.
And if you got a spot, then you're part of this.
Next thing I'm practicing, most likely.
Right. And as a walk-on, and you'll be practicing, and you're here with Notre Dame football going into the 2022-23 season.
It's unreal to think about. It really is.
How many times have you been to Notre Dame? For like a game?
I was at Notre Dame for one game. I saw them. I watched them
Watch
countless
them all the
times.
time, yeah.
But I was up in Notre Dame for one game before I actually was out in South Bend this year. It was against UNC when I was in 6th grade, so probably 2014, I'd guess.
Okay.
Sean Kaiser was quarterbacking.
Yes. Sean Kaiser had a little bit of time with the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, yes.
How would you describe South Bend and the Notre Dame touchdown Jesus, like the whole experience?
There's no better campus in the country. It's the most beautiful school you've ever laid your eyes on.
What?
The people, the buildings, and the feeling that you get when you step on campus is different than every other campus.
How would you describe the feeling? Can you describe the feeling?
It's tough to describe. It's just you're immediately lifted up almost. It feels like it's just a special place.
And you know, you being a person of faith, does that hold a lot of weight too, having a Catholic university?
Yeah, no, it's definitely important to me. It plays a huge role. Most of the students are Catholic, so it's surrounding myself with people that I want to be surrounded with, and it just feels like home.
How would you describe Touchdown Jesus?
It is so cool. It's
Like,
it's
to
our
somebody
library.
that's never seen it, how would you describe it?
It's massive. I mean, it's our library. It's a 14-story, 17-story building. And when you're inside of it and you're overlooking the stadium, it's beautiful. And when you're in the stadium and you're just staring right at Touchdown Jesus, it's just as good of a sight.
And it's right there for you. Have you
Yep.
envisioned yourself grabbing an interception and running?
So many times. I mean, no promises that it would happen, but I just imagine, I can just imagine me just running. It's just right in front of me.
And just sit running toward it.
Yeah, it would be unreal.
And coming from Jack Szatkowski, myself, Dan Tortora, we're here inside of Cafe Kubal. Plenty more to talk about right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us this Monday morning as we get ready to send off Jack Szatkowski in the most positive way that we possibly can, as we always appreciate everything that he brings to the table and everything he does here in our community. So we'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora as yet another person chases their dreams.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh cream. By hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of Cafe Kubal. We're always inside of Cafe Kubal Studios every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we also travel to the Cafe Kubals and sit on the couch here on 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, downtown Syracuse, Creekwalk Commons location. We're also at 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, and on 3501 James Street in Syracuse, you'll find Cafe Kubal out in Manlius on 343 Fayette Street in a double-decker cafe. I call it the Manlius Welcome Center because you can't miss it. and where all roads converge in Manlius. And then you'll also find them at their drive-through on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse. So, with that being said, Jack Szatkowski here with me, myself, Dan Tortora, sitting on the couch here, enjoying a beautiful day, and we're about 48 hours from you taking off for Notre Dame. So, we've spoken about a little bit about it, but we both have a strong faith.
Oh yeah.
How would you describe yours?
It's definitely grown stronger over the past years. It's just a trust that everything will turn out all right.
Yeah.
Always.
That belief, and you and I were talking off the air, and personally I had a very unique and challenging moment recently.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to someone that goes through a challenge in life? How to stay faithful, how to stay strong when something doesn't make sense?
Let go and let God.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I have two quotes that I follow. One of them's in my house, and I don't know how I found this. I was going through stuff, and there's a box in my spare bedroom. And I opened up the box, and inside of the phone was a cross. And on the cross it was Psalm 46:10. It said, "Be still, for I am the Lord." Which I took as, stop.
Yeah.
I got this.
Exactly.
Like, God going, hey, be still, relax.
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think it's from Corinthians is it says God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. So that if something is confusing in your life, if it doesn't make sense, if it's constantly in chaos, then it's not from them. Those are the two I take. And I gave that advice last night talking to a friend. I said, listen, God is not the author of confusion. So if you're in a situation that's confusing, that's not a gift.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned about it?
No matter how far you may stray away from it, you can always come right back in and maybe welcome your arms.
Why are you so strong?
I think I've just been raised in it, and it's become an integral part of me. I don't think I have a faith. I think I'm a part of the faith. I don't know. I'm explaining it. It's not something I think I have. It's just me.
It's just a piece of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
How would you describe a walk with God?
Walk with God. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it honestly. I know it'd be the best thing I've ever done.
He's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I know that. And I think that people, they think like, oh, he's so mean and stuff. And I'm like, no, he's actually
Pretty darn funny.
daily jokes.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes when he's having a slow day, I'm the court jester. He's like, hey, Dan, let's see how you figure this one out. And I'm like, are you having, what's going on? There's nothing going on up there. The war in Ukraine, there's a lot of stuff we could do. He's like, no, I want to see how you respond to that. I also am a firm believer that you get sent the same test over and over again until you take it and pass it.
Yep.
If you refuse to take it and you run from it, it always comes back.
Yep.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, because they'll talk to you and like something will happen and 3 years later they'll talk to you again and I'm like, it's because you didn't take it.
Exactly.
You got to take it to pass. It's like you can't go to the next grade until you take this.
Yep.
What's the biggest test you've ever faced?
Oh, my dad's diagnosis for sure. My dad really tested my faith. Took step backs, took step forwards, and then more step backs, more step forwards.
How do you deal with it?
I talk with people. I had a recent struggle with it. Just overall, just not really explaining how I felt enough. And it all came back to haunt me a little bit. So recently it's been a lot better. Mentally, I've felt a lot better. And yeah.
How did you get better? Like you said, you weren't talking about it, you weren't facing it. So what turning point happened?
I've been starting to talk to the people around me more and not letting all my emotions build up, but sharing them as I feel them. Maybe not in the best of ways that I can share them, like articulating myself, but getting it out there in the first place feels nice.
Yeah.
which has been really helpful.
Well, that's the thing that if you put enough, I tell people this all the time, if you put enough stuff under the rug, you eventually trip over it.
Yep.
Because the rug can't take a refrigerator and a stove and, a
Exactly.
grill.
Yep.
Eventually you're going to not be able to get over it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like emotions, right? When they compound, it makes life a lot more difficult because if you don't deal with it, anybody that you see that doesn't really deal with things in their life, they're not okay and they're pretty much chaotic.
Yep.
So I think, your telltale sign should be, being around somebody who doesn't show their emotion or face it,
Yeah.
that you don't really want to go down that path because it's a path that's never fruitful.
Not at all.
So how do you deal with Dad? Because, Dad doesn't, him and I mean, he's one of my best friends. We're extremely close,
Yeah.
yet we don't, really sit and cry about it. Or, when we visit where he always used to visit me. It's like he wants to spend time together and he wants to talk and he wants to know what's going on in my life. And he's always asking. I'm like, Jimmer, how are you? But he always wants to know about me. Is that how Dad is?
Yeah.
It's like he always is like, hey, how's everybody else? And I'm like, how are you? Forget about me.
He doesn't have to let himself be different unless he lets himself be different. It's all, obviously it's there, it's an inconvenience, but it's a choice to allow it to affect you, both just as a person.
And he's just become a better version of what was already a good version of a human being. And I think he's affecting more people's lives, even more so now. He's changing people's lives for better. I think your dad's effect on this world, whether he's here for 5 years, 50 years, whatever it is, I think his effect on the world will never cease. I think his domino effect is going to go on forever.
I agree. I don't think they'll ever stop affecting people. You can't. He's cemented a legacy for sure. He's affected every person he's come across.
How do you pay it forward yourself? How do you try to be a domino effect in your own life?
I just take his examples and try and pass them forward. I can do my own thing now, so I try to pass forward teachings and the lessons that I've learned from him.
The best thing you've ever been taught by your parents is what?
Don't jeopardize yourself ever for the comfort of others.
Yeah, I think it goes along the lines of like never dim your light because it makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Never dim what you have because people are jealous.
Exactly.
And I caught myself doing that one time. I was in a family and they were like, well, you sing, you do music, you work on this, you do sports, you do all this stuff. They're like, you do sports, you do comedy, you do music, you work on movies, you help with this, you help with that, you have a strong fit. Is there anything you don't do? And it was like in a mad, angry way. And I started to dim, and I started to, okay, I won't do music, and I won't do this, and I'll do a couple things, but I won't do all these things to make you offended. And then I was like, but then I'm not me.
Yeah.
And I'm not out here going like, look at all the things I do. I'm out here going like, I have one life to live and I want to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Why can't I be a broadcaster who also sings, who works on movies, who writes stuff? Like, why not? Why can't I be somebody who wants to go on a mission trip and at the same time can go to Hollywood and work on a Marvel movie someday?
Yeah.
Why the heck not?
Yeah. What's stopping you?
Right. Do you have a favorite? Do you like Marvel?
Oh yeah, love Marvel.
Okay. Do you like DC or no?
A little bit. I'm definitely more Marvel than DC. I never watched the new Batman, but I wanted to watch that.
The new one? It's good. It's definitely dark.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's very dark. And the best scene of the Batman movie was the one they cut out. The 5-minute Joker scene that's not in the movie.
I've heard about that.
It's the best scene. I literally put that out publicly. I was like, the best scene of the movie is the movie that they put on the cutting report.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Normally a deleted scene is like 34 seconds. 5 minutes of Batman and the Joker
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And the guy that plays the Joker was the actor that was in the movie The Eternals. You will not recognize him.
Huh.
His face is.
Oh, doesn't they make it like grotesque almost?
It's the grossest Joker I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. His part of his face is cut up and the other part's not cut like as much.
Yeah.
So it's like you can see it's the scar that someone cut his face or he cut his face, but it's not equal. And he's got just like ridges
Scar
and
tissue,
like
yeah.
rolls. Yeah, it's just if I showed you the actor and then I showed you his face as the Joker,
Yeah.
it's unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And the kid's young too.
Yeah, he's like 28, something like
A
that.
young actor, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it was a young Batman and a young Joker, but you could tell that they've had this long history, and what you expected from the movies is if it's long history between Joker and Batman, it's because they're like old.
Oh yeah.
Like if the Joker and Batman have been fighting for a while, then they're in their 50s.
Yeah.
This is like they've been fighting for a while and they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
So it's like
Pretty
changing
awesome.
the dynamic of
Yeah.
everything, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But you're a Marvel fan.
Oh,
So
yeah.
favorite superhero, least favorite?
I don't know. I think it's more movies for me. Like it
Okay, favorite
changes.
movie,
Yeah,
least
like, I
favorite.
think my favorite movie would be Thor Ragnarok. I love that.
Really?
Yeah, love that
Okay.
one.
All right.
That was
Why?
really- I don't know. I thought it was a cool storyline. Really interesting. It had a lot of good characters. Like I love the Hulk.
I love Talking Hulk.
Yeah.
You know.
Dr. Hulk, whatever it is, Professor Hulk.
Yeah, Professor Hulk. But this was like before he became Professor Hulk,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
he was doing that like baby talk. It's one of the
Yeah.
impressions I do.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Come find me, stupid."
Yeah.
Like I like that he's like, "Thor, go, I stay." Like
Yeah.
it's like it was more like Tarzan.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was really funny because then he's like, Thor would like get hit and he's like, "Oh, like little baby fall down,"
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, Thor's like, "I'm as strong as you." He's like, "Hulk like really strong. You like kind of strong." And
Yeah.
I love that like jolly green giant type
Yes,
of thing.
exactly.
So you like Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably say my least favorite. I wasn't a big fan of any of the Ant-Man movies.
Any of the animated ones?
Yeah. Love Paul Rudd though.
You love Paul Rudd?
Yeah, love Paul Rudd.
Oh, the Ant-Man movies. So yeah. So my least favorite is Thor: Love and Thunder.
The new one that came
It
out.
was so bad.
Was it really?
So
I heard it was supposed to be like amazing too.
it was so bad.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Wasn't to the comics. The
Interesting.
villain was not. He was.
Oh, I heard it was like poor storyline. It was Christian Bale, right?
Yeah, he's Gore the God Butcher,
Yes,
and he
exactly.
butchers one god.
Oh.
They don't have the Venom storyline with the symbiote, which is where the sword comes from. So that made no sense because they can't do it because of Sony. They'd have to share money.
Yeah.
God forbid they do that.
Yeah.
And there was just like a lot of stuff that had nothing to do with Marvel.
Yeah.
It was more like Disney's leaders trying to politicize it.
Yeah.
And it was like, not for the movie.
Yeah.
Do that somewhere else.
Yeah,
Stand
exactly.
at a podium.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
So yeah, so it just kind of loses you in like these kids end up fighting in the place of the gods, and the kids have like the power of the gods, and like none of them have a scratch from fighting these like
Yeah.
otherworldly beings. They don't even have a bruise. It's the story was not well told.
Yeah.
It was and it just like trying to be funny all the time.
Yeah. Which I thought they did a good balance of that in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like they kept it funny.
Ragnarok was good, but I think the first two Thors
They're exceptional.
they were the best because it's supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
And now they've made Thor like a bimbo.
Yeah, they have made him a bit of an idiot.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I will say in Thor: Love and Thunder, I would have loved to be any of those people
Yeah.
that was getting paid millions of dollars. The Guardians were in it for about maybe 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Idris Elba was in it as Heimdall for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of cameos that didn't make any sense because
Yeah.
it seemed like a giant waste of money. But yeah, I mean, I would say that's the worst one for me.
Yeah.
The best one for me, with my goatee as my ode to this character, is I'd probably say Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Iron
The
Man is
first one?
probably my best, and I like Captain America.
Oh
But I don't mind Ant-Man, I like Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's any that I don't like except for Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, even with animated, I still like the movies. They're just they're probably my least favorite of them all. Like, they aren't bad movies.
But I will say that I am a massive, and a couple years before the movie came out, I became a fan. I'm a big fan of Black Panther.
Oh, yeah.
And the Wakanda Forever trailer came out, and I cried.
It looks awesome.
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to like have Chadwick Boseman die again.
Exactly.
But they're gonna have to give him some type of farewell,
They have to.
and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. Who do you think is gonna be the Black Panther?
I really don't know. I'm interested. Like, I don't know who it's going to be.
I've had a theory for like a year, and when the trailer came out, I'm seeing a lot of people follow that, like the exact same theory. I said they're gonna bring back Killmonger.
I think that'd be awesome.
They're gonna bring back Killmonger, and then eventually he's gonna give it to Shuri, his sister, and some outside chance Nakia
Oh, yeah.
would be it. And I think in the trailer, when you see the young boy and the water comes through and that woman
Yes.
grabs him, I think that's his son.
Sweet.
I think T'Challa has a son.
I could see that too.
So I have a lot of theories.
Yeah.
And we have an entertainment show called Superpowered Cop where I expand on those theories, but I have a lot of theories on what I think is going to happen. So I think T'Challa has a son,
Yep.
and I think that Killmonger's coming back, and then I think Shuri or Nakia. I think Nakia might wear it in the movie, even if it's just for one fight.
Yeah.
I think she might wear it because however Chadwick dies, I think she'll put it on to like avenge his death.
Yes. I agree.
So that's what do you have any thoughts on? I know you saw the trailer.
Yes, I did. It looked exceptional. I'm not usually one to speculate or theorize. I like to just like go with, like, I like to not think about it just so I can be totally surprised with whatever happens.
Yeah. I like to predict it to see if I'm right, but I predict it and then I put it in a time capsule.
Yeah.
Like I have a thought, I share it on the show, I put it away.
Yeah.
And then I go watch the movie. I try to have no expectations, but with Thor I had expectations.
I'm big on having no expectations. I have high expectations. I haven't watched it, but I've heard like it was supposed to be amazing. It had such
I
good.
don't know who told you that.
It was. I thought the potential there was awesome.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, like the potential there was supposed
Potentially,
to be great.
yeah.
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 No one told me after they watched it that they thought it was amazing.
No. It's like the potential of a Chick-fil-A sandwich and then going to anywhere else for a chicken sandwich.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It was like it was supposed to be at
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A,
But it wasn't.
you know, spicy deluxe.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like some leftover chicken in a dumpster.
Yes, exactly.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
When it comes out on Disney Plus, you can watch
You're
it
really
at your leisure.
disappointed.
Yeah, you can be disappointed at home
Yeah.
with the dog while you're like at your feet up, you know.
Yeah.
After a long workout and practice and whatnot, while you're icing yourself down, you can watch it while you fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. Here with Jack Szatkowski. We're here for a little bit longer on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We have a few more things coming up, including Rapid Fire, which we kind of jumped into a little bit here. And we are at Cafe Kubal, 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York. Come out and see them here and at all of their locations as our exclusive studio partner. Support local at Cafe Kubal. And make sure you come out here for their coffees, their teas, their chais, love the chai. And of course the chocolate chip banana bread, which is unmatched by anyone. So come out to Cafe Kubal, we'll see you out here, and we look forward to talking to you right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Szatkowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Welcome back here to WakeUpCall with Dan Tortora inside of Cafe Kubal, hanging out here on the couch of 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York, at Creekwalk Commons with Szatkowski, myself, Dan Tortora. Of course, Cafe Kubal all throughout central and upstate New York for you. 3501 James Street in Syracuse, 324 West Water Street where we are in downtown Syracuse, on 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse. And on the weekends, they have beer on tap at their 401 South Salina Street location. You can also find them on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in North Syracuse at their drive-thru. And if you're out of town watching anywhere around the world, you can go to CafeKubal.com. That's Cafe, Kubal.com, and order from there. Get yourself something, get something for people that you love. We'll get as we're getting ready for the holiday season. People like to buy early, so I like to get my Christmas shopping done and out. I start early, but I always finish late.
Yeah.
So I gotta just keep it going, a little bit at a time. So we're here with Szatkowski talking about the fact that he'll be heading off to Notre Dame, and he wore a shiny golden helmet for CBA, and he'll have an opportunity to wear another shiny golden helmet for Notre Dame. When you put on that CBA helmet, did you envision?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah?
Plenty of times.
Did you get to keep the helmet or not?
Oh yeah, I have my helmet for sure.
So you got your helmet?
Yeah.
You put a little clover on there?
Yeah, I should. I haven't yet, but.
The day that you get to pick up a Notre Dame helmet and put it on your head.
I'll probably cry. I'll definitely tear up. Probably call my dad for the first time I put it on.
What is your dad, because him and I have talked about it a lot. What has he said to you about? Because he's been such a fan for such a long time. What did he say to you about this journey?
He supported me through it all. I think.
Did he say like you're gonna do it?
Oh yeah. He knows that whatever I put my mind to, I can do. And I think he's just waiting for it to all pay off.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. And the day, you better let me know, as we built our friendship for a few years now.
Oh yeah.
You better let me. I've never been to South Bend. I've never been to a game. The moment you make the team,
You gotta come.
by the grace of God, I have to be there.
Oh yeah.
I can't not be there, and I would imagine your family's gonna be there.
Oh, they'll be there for as many games as I can before.
So yeah, we all need to get out there.
Go there for Saturdays on the way home. Stop by in Buffalo and Sunday for the Bills game. I'm sure.
There you go. Yeah, it's a smart thing. I've been out to Bills Stadium.
Oh yeah.
They played my Jaguars, so I've seen the Bills Jags, I've seen Bills Jets. So I saw the Bills play Jacksonville in Buffalo, and I've seen them play Jacksonville in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So I've seen them in both. And last time I saw them in Jacksonville, Shamarko Thomas was a Bill from
Okay.
Syracuse.
Yep.
So, and Doug Marone was the coach from
man.
Syracuse, so
Yeah.
it was a little weird.
Yeah.
So you're wearing a Heat jersey. We were talking off the air.
Yes.
Your team and my team, the Raptors, both had Chris Bosh.
Yep.
We both have agreed that,
Yeah. He was a player.
he was there. So what made you a Heat fan to share with everybody? Because you told me that it had to do with LeBron.
So when LeBron went there, I was a bandwagon for sure. I'll openly own that. But I've stuck with him ever since. So I think I've lost the title of bandwagon ever since he left. So I think now I'm just a casual Heat fan. Nothing too crazy about it. Not a bandwagon.
But you chose to wear this shirt today.
I did.
So
Yes.
it has some meaning.
Oh yeah. I love this shirt.
You know, and they've won some titles.
Oh yeah.
They've done some things. I still regard the Dwayne Wade title without LeBron as like the best.
Oh yeah.
He did that with Shaq, with an older Shaq.
Yep. It was an impressive championship run.
Yeah, the Heat, and this past season, the Heat were the number 1 seed in the East.
Exactly. Yeah.
Without LeBron,
Very
without Bosh,
disappointing
without
ending.
Dwayne Wade.
Sad
Yeah,
ending.
that was not a good ending for them.
Yeah.
Boston just botched it too toward the end.
They did. Yeah. In their championship, I mean, went up 3-2 and managed to choke away the last 2 games.
It's crazy to see the East really didn't finish strong.
They did not. No,
At
they
all.
kind of all flopped in the end.
Who are the best teams in the East? In
The
your
one
opinion?
seed was this year.
In your opinion, who do you think, like, as we go forward, you know, the Torontos, the Boston, Chicago, Miami, who's the best?
I think the Hawks will be pretty good this year. With DeJounte Murray, he's a really good pickup for them. I
Okay.
think he's special. I think the Heat will always be good. Spoelstra's too good to not have a playoff team. He'll always have a playoff team.
Yeah.
He's
Are
exceptional.
Are the Raptors going to make it interesting again?
I hope they do. I love when the Raptors are good. I think it's good for the NBA when the Raptors are good.
I agree. And people have no idea how crazy it gets unless
Yeah.
you've been out there. The fan base is insane.
It's awesome.
They stand outside in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like,
They have a great, like,
The
the
experiences.
Raptors are a fun team to support, and not even support, but watch people support them.
24 years of being a fan the year that they won the championship. 24 years I waited. And when they won, I'm still waiting for apology letters, roses, people publicly on social media, you know, just telling me I was right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 2019, and I'll never forget Katie Kalinsky, who was coaching up at Syracuse. She came out with me to watch the game that they won the championship at. We were at the Wildcat Sports Pub at 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus. And it was me and her, a few other people there. And I'll never forget that we got to watch that together.
Yeah.
She's a Laker fan. So to have that moment, and like she was happy for me, I was happy.
Yeah.
And it was surreal. But I want to, like, I won't say her name, but the bartender wanted to go home, and the game went to like midnight. It was late.
Yeah.
She shut off the TV when Toronto was celebrating. So like in real time, something I'll never see again. She shut it off when Kawhi was starting to speak, and I was like, he never speaks.
Oh gosh.
I have to watch this.
Yeah.
She shut it off, turned her back to everybody. She wanted to go home, and I was like, don't do that.
You can't do that.
Don't do that to me. This is my moment. So pretty much all my teams won a championship except for Jacksonville.
Yeah, that'll be. Hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know when.
Yeah.
I'm not a, rose-colored glasses. I know that's going to take a long time.
Developing,
Yeah. But we'll get there.
Eventually.
So you're a Notre Dame fan. You're going to Notre Dame. Is there a second favorite team?
In college football, I'd say UNC probably. Just growing up there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I was always Syracuse first, North Carolina second in basketball. So when growing up, I had a Syracuse lanyard and a North Carolina lanyard. I wore my Tar Heel hat over the weekend. I have Tar Heel stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a UNC fan. If I'm not a Notre Dame fan for the moment, like they're out there running the March Madness, so I was consistently with them the whole way.
And Mac Brown.
Oh yeah.
Doing a nice job in round number 2.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what he can put forward this time without Sam Howell. I think they have two transfer quarterbacks trying to make it.
And they have a kid named Drake May, Luke May's younger brother, who's going to be quarterbacking them in the near future.
Something to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
Something to get excited about. So before we get into rapid fire, something we've been talking about the whole show is controlling the controllables.
Yes.
Most of people's stress in life is trying to control situations that you can't, or controlling other people.
Yeah.
I feel like if people stopped worrying about what they couldn't control, there
a
would
lot
be,
less stress.
I feel like the world would be like extremely more. Everybody would take like a collective.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what can you say about controlling the controllables and knowing like outside of you can't control the weather, you can't control what somebody does on the road, you can't control how somebody treats you.
Yeah, it takes time and dedication, but you have to be able to find peace and be able to be content in that kind of feeling where you don't have the control. You just gotta kind of take a step back and understand that you can't change it, so why try to? Just deal with, plan for what you have to do now.
And why stress out about it?
Exactly.
Stress, anxiety, and worry have never changed the situation.
Not at all.
They change you. They can make you sick.
Yep.
Can make you go out of your mind, make you waste a lot of energy. One thing my dad told me a long time ago, he said, every day when you wake up, you have a finite amount of energy in your life. And once you use it for the day, it's gone.
Yep.
So be careful what you use it on.
Yeah.
And stress, I'll use it up in about 15 minutes when you need 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's true. I thought about that. I go, what have I stressed about in life? 99.9% of it was what I couldn't control.
Yeah.
What people say, what people do.
Absolutely.
People act.
Yep.
People treat you. And you realize if somebody doesn't treat you well, and that could be romantic, could be a friend, could be family, could be a boss, why stick around it?
It's not worth it.
My religion teacher from CBA, who I she's retired, just had lunch with her recently. Her and I were talking a couple weeks ago. A week ago. And she said to me, in a relationship of any kind, when somebody treats you poorly, like shame on them, like it's their fault. If you stay and it continues to happen, it's your fault because you've allowed them to treat you that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, most people would get mad at that. When she said that to me, she goes, it's your fault that you let that happen. I appreciated the tough love.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you gotta hear it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you need somebody to tell you, like, hey, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
You know, get away from it. Because now when I hear people complain about situations, I sit there and I'm like, well then leave.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to somebody about their situation and I was blunt and I was like, you know, I don't see how any of this ever gets better.
Yeah.
And they said it back to me, I'll realize it eventually. And I was like, well, if you're saying that, you realize it now.
Yeah.
You're just being lazy.
Exactly.
And people live with this like, oh, I have plenty of time. I'll come back here and be 36 all over again. It's like, no. Whatever you spend your time on, that time is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, chasing your dreams, controlling the controllables, loving things up. I mean, I don't have time for drama.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even watch dramatic movies. I watch comedy, romantic comedy, stand-up comedy, Marvel. I don't watch, like, I can watch a dramedy.
Yeah.
But I can't even watch dramatic people on television it makes me like I can't do
not
it.
right, yeah.
I can't watch Real Housewives. It's too dramatic. You know, like my drama is like there's 5 seconds left in the game. Are they going to throw a touchdown?
Exactly.
Like my dramatic moment is like, are the Bills going to pull it off?
Yeah.
You know, will they make it to a Super Bowl this year?
They should.
You know, my drama is like, can Trevor Lawrence come back and complete this play at the end of the game and give me something to watch in Jacksonville? That's dramatic.
Yeah.
All the other drama,
It's not worth it.
no. I can't watch a bunch of people fight over like tableware.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So with that being said, we have Jack Szatkowski here. We're going to jump into rapid fire. You've been great about answering my questions as you get ready for Notre Dame. So I'm going to let you put me on the hot seat, and I might comment one at the end, but you can ask me 3 questions about anything, and I have to answer them.
Okay. I don't know why I thought of this. What's your favorite menu item at Tully's? First, what's your favorite kind of tenders, and then outside of the tenders?
So Tully's does not have the domestic tenders at all.
Who does? Don't say Capitale.
No, I don't think it's here. But I like crispy with some pepper in it. And Tully's, what they do is they bread their tenders like fish.
Yeah.
That's why it's different. They're not bad.
Yeah.
But they're not the best. Like, I love you, Tully's. Honesty, not my favorite tenders. However, they're not bad.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to get at Tully's, I'd probably tell you, back in the day they had a nacho pizza.
Ooh.
That was fantastic. They don't have that anymore. And it was on like a tortilla, like a giant tortilla.
Yeah.
But thin, crispy. Pop it right off and just eat it. Lettuce, cheese, salsa, tomato. But they need to bring that back. I would say the baked potato soup is my favorite.
Okay.
I love the baked potato soup. When I had my tonsils out and I couldn't eat normal food for like ever, when I finally could, and they said it may burn within like the first 2 or 3 days of them letting me eat regular food, I got baked potato soup and I struggled through the burn in my throat of it because I needed to have it.
Yeah.
So I would say baked potato soup, or I'd probably say, I don't know. I always get like the tenders and the cheese and the mozzarella sticks together, the chicken and cheese.
Yeah.
But normally I get the baked potato soup and the chicken and cheese.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing at Tully's is baked potato soup.
Okay. Next question. What position in football would it be?
That's a good question. So,
One offensive, one defensive.
Okay, I like that. So, I would like to think that I can handle myself at quarterback. I have done it before, like pick up stuff, and we've done it in flag football. But I'd probably be a running back.
Okay.
If I envision myself as anything, I'd be a running back. Because I like moving between the tackles. I like making people miss.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I respect the art of it.
Yeah.
And if I was on defense, I'd probably have to be a corner.
Okay.
Because I love intercepting the ball when we play pickup games.
Yeah.
I love being able to kind of figure out the quarterback and jump the route.
That's very fun.
Yeah. I think my thing is when I intercept the ball, I'm so excited I did it that you want to just fall on the ground and be like, and then I'm like, oh, you got to run back.
Exactly.
So I would probably say running back and corner.
Okay. Last question. If you could add anything to the Chick-fil-A menu, what would it be?
What's that sandwich, that maple pepper, whatever the heck it's called? The grilled chicken.
Oh, the limited time barbecue one that we had?
Yeah.
What was it called? Smokehouse barbecue.
Yeah. That one by far.
Okay.
Because I still want it.
Yeah.
It's like this freaking peppermint chip shake.
Yeah.
It's like you take it away from me, and I'm like, but they took it away so fast.
They did, yeah.
It was out for like a month and a half.
We had it, like everyone got it. We were out.
I literally got it, and then I waited, and I was like, oh, I'll get it next week. Come back in 2 weeks later, go through the drive-thru, and the kid was like, oh, it's gone. I was like, what do you mean it's gone? He's like, oh, we got rid of that. And I was like, it was not even here 2 months.
Yeah.
So the smokehouse barbecue.
Nice.
Because I like smoky, sweet, I like a little bit of that. Like I need that smoke, I need that sweetness.
Yeah.
I like pepper and sugar. They give me both.
Yeah.
The bacon was like,
It's super good, yeah.
you know, it was like sweet, like
Yeah.
maple flavor. Oh my god.
Super good.
Yeah.
I like our spicy grill when we had that for a bit. I don't know if you've had that.
I haven't.
It's super good.
You know what we don't have here, but some of the Chick-fil-A's have it, is the morning
Spicy biscuit.
the spicy biscuit.
Yeah, I wish we had it. It's more of a southern thing.
The spicy biscuit, if the biscuit is soft and so buttery,
Yeah.
and you just like bite into it, and it's like the biscuit's hot, the chicken is hot spicy,
Yeah.
and you dunk it in Polynesian and it like melts in your
Oh
mouth.
yeah, so
There's, yeah, so I would say one of those two
nice.
to bring in. I'm gonna hit you with one here. I'm gonna throw one at you. Okay, I've never asked this question before. You and I are gonna become Marvel superheroes.
Okay.
What character are you gonna be?
Okay.
What character would you choose for me? And what city would we choose to protect?
All right. Let's predict Syracuse first off.
Okay.
Easy answer.
Alright.
And we are replacing current. Like we are choosing.
And we're choosing.
Okay,
So whoever is then, we become them.
All right. Let me get. I'll have you as Hulk because, like you said, you liked being Hulk.
All right, I'll be Hulk. All right, I like
and
that.
then how about I will be I'll be Thor. For
Thor?
Sure. Thor. Yeah.
All right. Thor and Hulk, some
Yeah.
nice adventures.
Oh yeah.
I have the shirt that says we know each other. He's a friend from work. I have that shirt.
Oh, that's
from
sweet.
Thor Ragnarok.
That's sweet.
Where he's like, yes! So
Yeah.
I have his face, I have Hulk's face. So yeah, I wear that sometimes on the show. You'll see it on the air.
Perfect.
Yeah. But there was nothing like that where he's like, we know each other.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a friend from work.
Exactly.
Like, that was such a good,
That was a really funny line.
yeah. And like everybody was like, why is this guy happy to see the Hulk?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, I like that. I'm going to ask you one more.
Okay.
If you, I like to put it like this. When you make the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team, what's the first phone call you make?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad. 100%.
What do you say to your dad? And then what do you say to God?
I call my dad and I say, I did it.
Yeah.
I'm playing for Notre Dame. And then I say to God, thank you for allowing my hard work to pay off.
I like it. Jack Szatkowski, heading to Notre Dame, came here from North Carolina, went to CBA in Syracuse, is now working to get on the team in South Bend, coming through Holy Cross, onto the University of Notre Dame with the opportunity to make a football team. Jack, as always, I appreciate everything you do. Appreciate your time. We have one more step aside, and we'll wrap things up right after this on Wake Up Call. And Ashley Holdridge, if you're watching and listening, we'll do a video after, but congratulations, as you'll be taking this home. I've had it with me for a couple days, and it's hard to not open it. So, Ashley, I promise you, it's been closed by Aubrey, the owner at WakeUpCall, and it'll be waiting for you at the back. So we'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be, from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com.
In Orlando. We can't wait to welcome Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site at 8801 International Drive in Orlando. Broadcasting live Monday, August 22nd through Friday, August 26th during our lunch each day from noon to 2 p.m. Come see us, girls, hear from Dan and his special guests, and preview the college and NFL seasons from the greatest seat for all sporting events. Hooters I Drive in Orlando.
Cafe Kubal, as we're always inside the Cafe Kubal studios every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. on YouTube.com, Facebook.com, and MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, on WakeUpCallDT.com, and on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. Inside of Cafe Kubal on 324 West Water Street in Syracuse, New York, with Jack Szatkowski and myself, Dan Tortora. I want to thank you for being a part of the show every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You can find us as well by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or Wake Up Call DT. Once the shows go live, you go to Audible, Amazon Music, iHeart, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, TuneIn, Podbean, Podvine, Player FM, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube, and find all of our content by going to any one of these locations, searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or one word Wake Up Call DT. And a special thanks to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Woody Wicks, PB&J's Lunchbox, K9 Camp Dog Daycare, Abbott Coley's, Mom Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, K9 Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Chick-fil-A, Cicero, Chick-fil-A Clay, Victory Sports Medicine Orthopedics, Millhouse Market, and of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Every first and third Wednesday of each month, we have AD&DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, with special topics and exclusives. Every second and fourth Wednesday, the Dolphin Dive, featuring student athletes, coaches, administration, as well as future Dolphins and alumni on our Dolphin Dive. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Every Wednesday is Dolphin Time. First and third AD&DT, second and fourth Dolphin Dive. Have plenty coming up for you this month, and you can find out more from your Dolphins by going to LeMoyneDolphins.com. Of course, subscribe to our WakeUpCallDT.com website in the Lemoyne tab, and you can find the Dolphins by subscribing to our YouTube channel on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Fins up. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is also the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Marywood University Pacers. It's Pacer Pride every single month on Wake Up Call, Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We feature your Pacers on Wake Up Call with student athletes, coaches, and administration. You go to the Marywood tab on WakeUpCallDT.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Pacer Pride with you every single week, Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And for more information, go to MarywoodPacers.com. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse, right up the road from this Cafe Kubal, are also exclusive multimedia marketing partners of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. The Bobcat Buzz comes to you every single month, and you can find out all of those specials by going to the BSC SYR tab on WakeUpCallDT.com. Subscribing to our YouTube channel on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and staying close to our social media for the Bobcat Buzz. It's student athletes, administration, and coaches. For more information on your Bobcats, go to Syracuse.bscbobcats.com. So with that being said, Jack, I'm going to let you have the final word. What would you like to share with everybody as you embark on Notre Dame, chase your dreams, control the controllables, faith? We talked about a lot of stuff here today. Family too, so what do you want to leave us with?
So thank you for having me. It was awesome to be here. It's always a pleasure, and just hope I positively impacted some of you guys out there listening today. That means I succeeded, I think.
Yeah, if you can help but one.
Yep.
But one. They say that Jesus left the flock of 99 to go find that one missing sheep.
Yep.
So if you can help but one person today, you've done your job. Jack, I appreciate you. I thank you for our relationship and how we've built over time. I thank you for our friendship, and more than anything else, I can't wait for you to achieve all your dreams, including Notre Dame, because I know you're going to succeed, and I can't wait to be there for that.
Can't wait.
Jack Szatkowski, myself, Dan Tortora, Cafe Kubal. Come out to any one of their locations, including 324 West Water Street, as well as 3501 James Street, 401 South Salina Street in Syracuse, New York, as well as on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-thru location in North Syracuse. And 343 Fayette Street in Alias. For now, as we always leave you, God bless,